The following program is a Nighthawk Network presentation.
This is the story about an African-American woman who is passionate about professional wrestling and goes to countless events. She then, one day, gets the idea to start a wrestling talk podcast to talk about her favorite wrestlers and wrestling programs. She has a home podcasting room full of wrestling memorabilia that she uses to do the show, and every week you can tune in and join in the conversation.
Hey, what's going on, good people? E-Buck here. It is time for your favorite wrestling show by your favorite wrestling host. This is Rumble Time, and of course, the host of Rumble Time is the one and only Queen Gemini. Queen, are you with us? I don't see you, my friend. Well, as we said, it is Rumble Time. We are about to tune into the show. Have some technical difficulties at the moment. These things tend to happen during our live runs. We are on the old new StreamYard, working that out as we can. So some things we have from the old set and some things we don't just yet. And I'm still having some computer generation issues. So that is part of the issue as well. Don't have Queen at the moment. Don't know what happened to her. Keep in mind, we are having some wind issues here yet again, much like we did Friday. So I'm wondering if that had some issue with why we don't see Queen. At the moment, she was here when I started up the show, but now her is not. So hopefully she is working that out on her end. In the meanwhile, we will tell you that this week we will probably definitely be talking about SmackDown and what happened there on the road to WrestleMania. We also will be talking about WrestleMania in general, keeping in mind that they have once again changed ticket prices. I'm sure Queen will address that. Outside of that, I imagine we'll talk maybe a little bit about upcoming Raw and all of that. Queen is definitely trying to get in here, but for whatever reason, as you see, we got black screens. So, here we go. There her is.
There we go.
All right. We now give you the one and only Queen Gemini.
Hello, my gems. Hello, hello, hello. And don't nobody say nothing about my glasses. Okay. Well, my darlings, my sweet little gems. Oh, it's rumble time. Woo! I've been waiting on this all day. And since this is WrestleMania season, we're gonna talk about that Hall of Fame. We're gonna talk about the Hall of Fame. So, oh, this tastes good. So let's get started. Now, in researching this, I found out something interesting because I really didn't pay a lot of attention to the Hall of Fame. It's just something that happens. And then there were some folks that I like that I didn't think was in the Hall of Fame. Shoot now, if they're on night air. But come to find out, they are in the Hall of Fame. They just wasn't part of that little class of theirs. They went up under what was called legacy. We're gonna get into that in a minute. But when they started the whole Hall of Fame, it started with one person, and that was Andre the Giant. And if I'm remembering correctly, when they started it, when they made the decision to start the Hall of Fame to put him in it, it was like 2 months before his passing. And I was like, well, that's kind of depressing, but okay. And so at first it was not part of WrestleMania. It's been a part of Survivor Series. It's been part of, what was that other thing? Um, um, King of the Ring. That's it. It was part of that. But there was a gap in there for like 7 to 8 years. They didn't even have the Hall of Fame ceremony. So I'm like, okay, because I really didn't know, realize it, and I really wasn't paying attention to it. I just, hey. But yeah, if let's see, they started it in March the 22nd, 1993. So it's been around for what, 32? I'm gonna say 32 plus years. Um, and then at the time that they started the Hall of Fame, it was still the WWF. So it went from WWF into the WWE. Now, that logo that they use that we always see every year, that came about in 2019. Because prior to that, I don't remember them ever having a logo. I just remember them saying, "Hey, it's Hall of Fame. This is who's going in the Hall of Fame, X, Y, and Z." Now, so far, it's been 254 total inductees, 134 individual inductees, 49 legacy inductees, two group inductees, no, 20, I'm sorry, 20 group inductees, which is, 54 wrestlers, seven inductees in multiple categories. I don't even know what that is. 14 celebrity inductees, nine Warrior Award, and one Immortal Moment recipients. Now the Immortal Moment, that came about last year. They added that last year, and the first one they chose for that was the Bret Hart facing Stone Cold Steve Austin with Ken Shamrock as the special guest referee. You talking about a match? Now, if I remember correctly, that's supposed to be a submission match, but Steve did not submit it. He passed out from loss of blood. Yeah, he just went 99, and Ken Shamrock had to get a little physical with Brett because he had the sharpshooter locked in on Steve. And Steve was like, yeah, I'm not gonna say I quit, tap out, nothing else. So yeah, that made me like Steve even more. Now I was going through the list, and I told y'all on Tuesday we was gonna talk about the some that should not be in the Hall of Fame, and some that are not in the Hall of Fame that should be in the Hall of Fame. And I just made a short list. I didn't get too I didn't get too carried away with it because there's some people that like that's a long list. Get over it. But yeah, there's some folks, and I'm gonna tell you why. First up, the four horsemen. That was the wrong four horsemen. Because when I first heard that they was going in, I'm like, okay. The first thing popped in my mind that it was gonna be Flair, um, Ole and Arn, and Tully. And with JJ Dillon. That's the original horsemen. No, they inducted Ric Flair, Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, JJ Dillon. I'm like, that's not the original.
That's not it. That's not.
I'm like, what kind of medication is you people on? That's not the original horseman. So I was hot about that. I'm like, oh no, we don't even need this then if you're not gonna put the original ones in. But that's who they inducted into the. I was like, this is a load of crap. This is so yeah, that should never happen. Not Barry Windham going in there like that. Next up, what's his name? Carlos Colon, whatever, senior, whatever his name is. If you have no idea who he is, he's down in Puerto Rico. That's what's your boy's name? Carlito. That's Carlito's dad. When I found out exactly how Bruiser Brody got sent to the upper room, that ticked me off. And he was there at the time that it happened, and he knew nobody's gonna convince me otherwise because he was sitting there talking to the man. It was him, the little man that sent Brody to the upper room, and someone else. It was another guy. It was either one or two more guys. The dude was telling him what he was going to do, and he didn't try to stop it. But you gonna put him in the daggone Hall of Fame? Yeah, yeah. I was hot when I found that out. He don't need to be in the Hall of Fame. Next up is Goldberg. Why? Why? Why is he even in there? Because all he did was hurt people. I mean, yeah. Look at Bret Hart. And Bret Hart is holding a serious grudge. I thought I hold grudges. I ain't got nothing on Bret Hart. I ain't got nothing on Bret. Honestly, I don't. Because, I mean, okay. He had, what was that heat? What was that move? The whole little jackhammer thing? Is that his move? I believe that's his move. But, I mean, look at it. He had the match with Undertaker. And what did he do? He dropped the Undertaker on his head. He could have did some serious damage to him. But he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, okay. The Bella Twins. Why? Why? I mean, come on now. And I've heard people say they was pioneers of women's wrestling. You are okay. I said I can't use no cuss words. Yeah, you are lying. The truth ain't in you. No, 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 no. Because remember, before these heifers, we had a women's title Then it got switched up when, during their little raggedy time period to that stupid Divas champion. And I'm like, when we started doing this, yeah, they ain't helped nothing in no way, no shape, no form. I think they went in last year. Michelle McCool, yeah, we know why she's in there because she's married to the Undertaker. Ain't nobody stupid. Just like how you know they try to say that she got no favoritism because when she was dating him and when since she married him, and Freddie Price Jr. just came out and said, "Oh yes, she did," because there was a whole storyline where she was supposed to lose the Divas Championship, and she went and complained to Taker that she had to lose the title, and Taker went to Vince, and guess who kept held on to that title for a little while longer? Yeah, okay. So yeah, we know why she in the Hall of Fame. And then there's Lex Luger. Yeah, yeah. I don't know why he's in there, and don't nobody give me no crap about he. Yeah, he was not a good wrestler. And then now I'm gonna tell you something. If Vince was still in charge, Luger never would have went into that Hall of Fame because a lot of people blame him for what happened to Miss Elizabeth, which was his fault. Because if I don't know if you can find it on YouTube, but I have actually heard that 911 tape, and if you could hear it, you would be ready. I mean, I know the man is a little jacked up and everything right now, but you still would want to jump on him. Cause yeah, I was like, dude, help her, do something. Mm, yeah, he was more worried about himself and him going to jail for the amount of stuff he had in his house than to be trying to save her life. Now, like I said, there is a legacy section, and everybody don't go into the legacy part. It's not done every year. So and like I said, you don't never hear about it. At least I don't. I didn't even know it existed. A lot of legends have gone into the Hall of Famer. I mean Hall of Fame. I said Famer. Lord have mercy. Into the Hall of Fame, but they went up under the they're listed under legacy. Wahoo McDaniel, um Luna Vachon, Bruiser Brody, Rufus R. Freight Train Jones, and Gary Hart. All of them are up under legacy. They're in the Hall of Fame and they're up under legacy. Because I did not know, because I was thinking Gary, especially Gary, wasn't in the Hall of Fame. And I was going to crash out if I hadn't found his name. Because let me tell you something about Gary Hart. Gary Hart, honey, he was one of the best managers out there. Gary wasn't no joke. I enjoyed watching him through the years. I really enjoyed him. Now, I got a list of people that should be in the Hall of Fame that are not in the Hall of Fame. And I don't understand why they ain't in the Hall of Fame. First up is Jazz. Go back and watch some of them old clips from the WWE. Let's see, was it still the WWF? It might still be the WWF, but it was starting to switch over. Jazz wasn't no joke. She was up there with Jacqueline. They didn't care if you was man, woman, or beast. She would fight you. My girl need to be in the Hall of Fame. Bam Bam Bigelow, the Beast from the East. I'm like, hold on, Bam Bam ain't in the Hall of Fame? I don't know what the deal is with that. But Bam Bam, I'm telling you, these folks I call, you need to go back and look at some of their matches. Just go back in the day and take a look if you ain't familiar
If
with them.
Lex Luger's in the Hall of Fame, Bam Bam should be in the Hall of Fame. Plain and simple.
Yes, Bam Bam. Let me tell you something. Go back and find one of Bam Bam's old matches. This is a big man. He will do that cartwheel, and then after you do the cartwheel, he'll start doing this little bounce. Like, come on! And I'm like, did you just do a cartwheel for his size? Back then, we was like, really? It was just unbelievable because he was a big dude. But he should be in the Hall of Fame. Miss Elizabeth is not in the Hall of Fame. And I don't understand that. Like, how is she not in the Hall of Fame? Excuse me, y'all. China should be in the Hall of Fame. You gonna put them raggedy bellas in there? You need to put China in there. China need to go in there. What did they say? This is making me mad.
Okay, I got to step in.
Okay,
That explains
it's
why
the
we
one man
ain't
game.
in the comments. Okay, let me be your eyes on this one. All right, here's the comment.
Be mine.
All right, first I commented, finally a win for the movie Sinners. Hashtag Oscars playing around in our face. Because so far, 16 nominations, only one win. All right, next I said, is it about their wrestling skills or their wrestling popularity as to why they get put in the Hall of Fame? I'm thinking it's more the second than the first. Road checked in. Hey, Queen. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Road.
And then I also said, is One Man Gang in the Hall of Fame?
No.
I feel like he should be.
How is the One Man Gang not in the Hall of Fame?
I feel he should be.
Who? They need to let the fans pick.
Yeah, because ain't that fool King Kong Bundy in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Okay, well, he shouldn't be.
Because he's on my list. Huh?
But I think One Man Gang should be.
One Man Gang. Now, let me tell you something. I don't understand this. How One Man Gang ain't in the... Go back. I'm telling y'all, if you don't know who we talking about, go back. Go back to back in the day. One Man Gang, he had this like mohawk, and he wore this denim jacket with the sleeves cut off, and he wore these shades, right? He really was a One Man Gang. And then in the what was it back then? WWF, that's what it was. This nut came out. Wait a minute, what did they call him? Hold on, I'm gonna find it. A king, the African dream. When he shoot now, because at that time Slick was his manager. When I say I hollered, I was like, that's the One Man Gang. That's not. No, you're not being a king. I was totally done. Yep. Jim Cornette need to be in the Hall of Fame.
Why?
I don't know what Jim.
Why on earth is he not in there? Come on.
Because they don't like Jim.
If Slick in there, and not granted, Jimmy Hart should be in there because he contributed more than just being a manager. But even still, yeah, Cornette definitely should be.
They don't like Jimmy, because Jimmy just say what's ever on his mind. He don't sugarcoat nothing. And yeah, they have issues with him, but he needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
And,
William
and,
Regal.
and, and when they put him in there, if he don't bring the tennis racket, throw the whole damn speech away.
Exactly. Exactly. Because he got to have that tennis racket. He got to. William Regal. Now, my oldest son hates William Regal. For I don't know why. Yeah. I tried to explain. William is a very good technical wrestler. He just looked at me like, I don't know what you talking about, old lady. And I
One of
wasn't
the
even that
better
old back then.
matches, if you could find it, that you will ever see is William Regal versus Mr. Perfect. See if you can track it down somewhere. It was a hell of a match.
Mm-hmm. Uh, um, what's his name? Umunga. Umunga. Y'all know who I'm talking about.
I think you're digging for Umaga.
Umunga. Y'all know who I'm talking about. Zilla's daddy. He need to be in the Hall of Fame because he wasn't no joke. But from what I hear, Rikishi and other family members are petitioning to try to get him into the Hall of Fame. Did y'all know Sid Vicious ain't in the Hall of Fame?
Wait, what?
Sid Vicious ain't in the Hall of Fame.
Did he not headline about 2 or 3 WrestleManias
Thank you.
and a
And
couple
please explain to me.
and was champions in NWA and WWE? I mean, come on.
Yes. That's why I don't understand who's doing this picking and what is they doing it on, because how is Luger in there before him? That makes no sense to me. Let's see. Then you got. Oh yeah, and I got King Kong. I put King Kong Bundy because King Kong Bundy wasn't no joke either, and he needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
Now,
basically, it's that little group of the big fellas there. One Man Gang, King Kong Bundy, who the other little fat one? And then Big John Studd. And I forget the other one I'm digging for.
Big John Studd is in the Hall of Fame.
Right. And yeah, Vader.
Vader, yep.
Okay. All them is in that kind of same group in there.
Yep. Now, for the immortal moments, there's 2. I got 2 that I would love to see go into the Hall of Fame. First up, it took place on June the 28th, 1998. Hell in a shoot now. Hell in a Cell. Mankind versus The Undertaker. That's got to go in there. At some point, if they do not put that moment into the Hall of Fame, somebody need to get punched in the throat or something.
That was by far, if not the best, one of the best pay-per-view matches of all time.
It was. It really was. And that's one of the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time. People, like to talk about when the debut of Kane. When Undertaker had the Hell in a Cell match with what's his boy, Shawn Michaels. Yeah, that was nice and cute. No, yeah, that was the first Hell in a Cell. Whoop-de-doo. But the one with Undertaker and Mankind, that was the one that did it. Because, yeah, because we watched that, and my son was like, "Your boy going to jail." He done killed. He done took out. He done took Mankind out. And when he choke slammed, choke slammed Terry Funk out of his tennis shoes, Terry floating around like a goldfish. But Mick kept coming back for more. And I'm like, sweet baby Jesus, somebody help him.
It's a miracle Mick Foley's still in his right mind to some degree after some of the matches.
Uh-huh.
I mean, when I say he's fully committed for the sport, he's fully committed.
He's fully committed. And see, y'all got to remember, he started out as Cactus Jack. And he was wild back then. And he faced Abdullah the Butcher. Yeah, that wasn't a good combination. That was just gore. I mean, yeah. If you squeamish, you couldn't go to none of their matches. Now, this next one, this one too. These are the two that if they do not go into the Hall of Fame, yeah, I'm telling you, somebody need to be punched in the face. This is WrestleMania 3. Oh, dang, this was okay. March the 28th, 1987. For the Intercontinental Championship, Randy Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. You talking about a match? Woo-wee! That was a match. Ain't nobody been able to touch that, duplicate it, or nothing to this very day. They've had tons and tons of intercontinental matches, but none of them can hold a candle to that match between Randy and Ricky. I mean, folks was glued to their TVs watching that match. They still, we talk about that match to this day.
Now, understand, when they always bring up that argument who was the best Intercontinental Champion, every time they open their mouth to say that doggone Honky Tonk Man, I get upset.
Who said that? Who said Honky Tonk Man?
Several people say Honky Tonk Man,
Oh,
and they out there wig them.
see, now you done upset me. Because in what universe do they think Honky Tonk was the best Intercontinental Championship? Did they really say Honky Tonk Man?
You heard what I said. These fools said Honky Tonk Man.
That's just to vex my whole spirit. They done said the daggone Honky Tonk Man. Do nobody care about that bootleg Elvis Presley wannabe? Lord have mercy. They done said, Lord.
I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm cocky. I'm bad.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, moving right along. The best Intercontinental Champion of all time is Randy Savage. That's Randy Savage, hands down. Because Randy will come out and cut a promo, and if you pay attention, Randy could get loud, but when Randy would speak in a soft, low voice. When he hit that low voice and he's all calm, oh yeah, you knew you finna get a beat down.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Randy Macho Man Savage, nothing to play with. Remember that. But you better believe when you get in that ring, I'm going to upset you shit. It's going to be a problem. Dig it.
That was your warning. You had the opportunity at that point to just let it go. But no, some people didn't want to do that. You see how that turned out for them. But they got to do better. Now, I'm going to go ahead and talk about this year's Intercontinental Champion. I mean, not Lord, I'm still on the Intercontinental Champion. The Hall of Fame. Sorry about that, y'all. The Hall of Fame. We got Stephanie McMahon. We got AJ Styles. AJ, I totally agree with. AJ. Then we got Axis Smash, the Demolition. That was the bootleg version of the Road Warriors. So that's who we know so far is going into the Hall of Fame. That's deep. Like I said, the only one I agree with is AJ. And it's awful odd. I'm like, they the only three that just them four going in. Ain't nobody else gonna show up for this. I mean, what's going on here? So, because we getting close, closer and closer. But anyway, now speaking of WrestleMania, I woke up to this news this morning. WWE may be considering the idea of not hosting WrestleMania 43 in Saudi next year. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And this year we got two PLEs that was scheduled to be in Saudi, and they really thinking about not having those in Saudi because of
Climate.
because of the growing tension in the Middle East. So yeah, because who gonna want to go over there? Nobody. It's not friendly territory right now. So right now, nothing has been made official. But because of what is, everything that's going on over there, I don't think they're gonna have it. I think if the two PLEs for this year and WrestleMania is about to get pulled. So I'm gonna keep my eyes and ears open. I'm waiting for that news to say they got pulled. Because I really would like to go to a WrestleMania. And yeah, I'm not going no Saudi. So they said WWE and Saudi, officials
My guess
are in talks.
If they don't do it in Saudi, either they move it to the UK or they have it here somewhere in Texas.
Somewhere in who?
Texas.
Don't nobody want to go no Texas.
That's the thing. It's not that people want to go or not go. That's where the people are. If you notice these last few years, they tend to put it in the places where the people are. The Vegases and the Los Angeles of the world.
We don't want them.
Like it or not, Texas is the second largest state in the country.
I don't care. Don't put it in no Texas.
I know I ain't trying to go no Texas either, but if you put it in Texas, they will come.
Why can't they put it somewhere like Detroit?
Would love to have it back here in Detroit, but it probably ain't happening.
They did do Philadelphia one year.
Would love to see it there again. It ain't happening.
You never know. Don't nobody want no Texas now.
Even Chicago would be nice, but again, it ain't happening.
Oh yeah, Chicago would be nice. Huh, huh. So now you got me thinking. No, what they need to do is give it to New Orleans. That's where this year was supposed to be. It's supposed to be in New Orleans, and I was supposed to be sitting there in New Orleans. I'm gonna get to well, I'm gonna be in New Orleans in September. If God's will and the creek don't rise. Um yeah, I got because they say Roman's gonna be at Money in the Bank. So yeah, uh yeah, I gotta be there. I gotta be there for that one. Now, did y'all look at SmackDown? Y'all, okay. What's your boy's name? Drew. Drew had a temper tantrum, as usual. He had a little hissy fit, and he said he quit. I quit, and I was like, bye. Thanks for coming. Oh Lord have mercy. Oh, but I knew he wasn't going nowhere. It was, and because Jacob had a well, Jacob told him, he said, you mad at the wrong person because I am the cause of you not being champion right now. So everything is even. So what you gonna do about it? And I was like, oh, okay, what you gonna do about it, crybaby? And he didn't do nothing. He waited to Jacob is in a match with Trick Williams, and he interfered in the match, so he lost to Trick, and yeah, Jacob is gonna beat the brakes off of um Drew. Just wait and see because they got a match Friday. Just wait. I think this match is gonna set it up for WrestleMania. I just have this feeling. Um, Now supposedly after WrestleMania, we ain't gonna see Drew for a while, which is fine with me because I'm tired of looking at him and listening to him. He's supposed to be filming the Highlander movie. Speaking of which, if it's the Highlander, I think it is. I'm gonna be a little upset because that was it's been a movie and it's been a TV show too.
And a comic series.
Really?
Really?
I didn't know that. I need to find that then. That'd be a good read. Okay, let's see here. Oh, they finna mess this up. He really is gonna be in the Highlander movie. He really, y'all, this ain't no joke. I thought it was a joke. He really, really, truly is gonna be in the Highlander movie. Why? Why? Why are y'all messing with a classic? Man, okay, I'm done. He really is. He's gonna really be in the Highlander movie. I'm distraught now. Well, so if it goes the way I think it's gonna go, We just gonna have a brawl. They just ain't gonna be no clear winner. They just gonna be out there fighting. That's it. And so they gonna make a match for WrestleMania. And then after WrestleMania, we ain't gotta look at them for a little bit. I'm still mad about that. So let's see what else happened that was, somewhat interesting. That's about it. The contact, no, it ain't. The main event, the icing on the cake. Um, oh yeah, Jelly Roll was there. He was there. Uh, on Miz TV, knocked out Miz, whatever. And that kid Wilson, whatever, came out and stuff, But honey, it was the contract signing between Cody and Randy. Y'all, when I say I told Cody to shut up, he running off at the mouth. He done said what he needed to say. It was Randy's turn to talk. Why this dimwit gonna interrupt Randy? So I know what you trying to say. You don't know what that man trying to say. Shut up and let him talk. Honey, he interrupted Randy. I said, oh, this is not finna end well. This is finna end badly. I see this. I feel it in my spirit. 1,852 days. Did you hear me? 1,852 days is what it took. That's how long Randy had been a face. That's how long it took before he turned the heel again. Yes, I'm saying again. I don't know where y'all people have been at because there are people actually out here thinking that Randy Orton has been a babyface all of his career. This lets me know you don't know nothing about the Viper. Nothing. At one point, Randy Orton was a little menace. He was RKO everybody up under the sun. If he could, he'd RKO your grandma. But they had like he's been a choir boy his whole career.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think at one point he even RKO'd his own daddy.
Did he?
I think he did.
If y'all don't know who his daddy is, his dad is Cowboy Bob Orton. And for all of this man's career, he wore a cast on his freaking arm. And my mom used to say, ain't nothing wrong with that son of God. You can fill in the blank. She said, because ain't nobody that's already been broke for the last 75 years. Because see, Cowboy Bob hung with Roddy Piper. I'm telling y'all, go back and put in Cowboy Bob Orton and pull up some of them old matches. You will get a kick out of them, I'm telling you. Let's see. Uh, did Randy? Crap. Wait a minute. I need to know. Let's see. They said 38 years ago, Randy Orton's father delivered. I want to know.
Okay.
They said that
It
his dad performed the first RKO.
It said, yes, Randy Orton RKO'd his father, Cowboy Bob Orton. During a storyline in 2005, the incident occurred in the lead up to WrestleMania 21 as part of Randy's feud with The Undertaker, where Bob Orton was attacked after interfering in the rivalry.
Okay, okay, okay. Now see, y'all stop thinking. For those of y'all that just coming in and thinking Randy been a baby face. No, Randy has not been a baby face all his career. I'm telling you, he was off the chain. He was the legend killer because he was arcading over everybody.
Okay, so this will actually be a good time to put in the one and only question we got this week. The
Okay.
question is from our good buddy Robin. Shout out to you, Robin. She
Hey
wants to
Robin.
know, out of all of the wrestlers that was either good guys or bad guys, which wrestler did you feel would have been better off as a bad guy and which one as a good guy? Now, let me say for the record, most of our wrestlers, particularly back in the day, they was either one or the other at some point.
Mm-hmm.
It's very rare you get a wrestler that was always a face, as we call it, or always a heel. So answering that question is a little tricky.
Yeah. That's a hard one. That's a hard one because like like uh like he say it during our time, back in the day, they was either one or the other. They would rotate. There'd be a heel, and then something would happen, and they become a face. You was rooting for
I would say, as far as who would have been better being bad more often than good, I got to go with Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. He's been a
them.
much
Yeah.
better villain than a face because of his skill set. As far as
Hmm.
the other way around, I got to think about that one for me.
Okay, I agree with you on Ricky because all see, I don't ever remember him. Ricky is a heel. You know what? I do not remember Ricky as him. I just remember Ricky as, the low Ricky the Dragons, Steamboat. He just, the good guy, the one you supposed to root for. But I'm gonna tell you somebody that should always, he never should have been. They did turn him face at one point in time, and I was like, that's cute. He should always have been a heel because he was built for it. Nikita Koloff. When they turned him heel, not heel, turned him face, kind of lost, he kind of lost some of that meanness. If you have no
Now,
clue who I'm talking about.
now I would say I don't give a smurf who it was. I think the Road Warriors should have just been like, whoever can get it can get it. They kind of was like that anyway. I ain't never want to see them really be good. I wanted them to just whoop bad take names, period.
Well, that's how they was. I mean, the fans, be like, yeah, they the good guys and stuff. But they still came out there and beat the crap out you and go about their business.
All right, Rhoda is checking in. She says Sting was my favorite before he went bad.
No, oh, I'm glad she said something about Sting. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a little something about Sting. I couldn't stand him. When he had the bleach, the beach Sting, the blonde hair and stuff, I couldn't stand him. Oh, he irked my soul. It was just something about him. And, oh yeah, and the hollering. I was like, would you shut up? We can hear you. I was sitting ringside. Me and James, my ex-husband, Lord have mercy. I gotten us wrestling tickets. and I had ringside seats. And that was one of the reasons. This incident right here, he said we could not sit. He didn't want to sit ringside with me no more because he was like, "You gonna mess around and you gonna cuss at somebody. We gonna get in a fight and they're gonna kick us out." Sting was wrestling Sid Vicious. I'm rooting for Sid Vicious. I couldn't stand Sting when he had the blonde hair. But when he became the whole crow thing, the crow Sting, and was up there in the little what you call the thing?
In the Raptors.
Yes. When he was up there just looking
with a baseball bat.
When he was up there with the little vulture and all that, and he'd come down with the baseball bat and start whacking people. Now that is when I started liking him. I was like, yes, see, I can work with you now. I can work with you. Because he was a mute for a whole year. He didn't say nothing for a whole year. I didn't realize it was that long, but he didn't say nothing for a whole year. I was like, dang, he was dedicated. Who else? I can't think of nobody else. Because like a lot of folks, like at some point in time in their career, they would end up they end up being both at some point in time in their career. Did I miss a comment? What they say? Okay. Is my time about up?
You got a few minutes.
Okay. Oh, okay. So let me make this quick. So Randy beat the brakes off of Cody Rhodes. When I say he beat Cody, he beat Cody. He beat that man out of his shoes. I saw a picture. I'm like, where's his shoe? So now we got the old Randy back, and they said that clip has been viewed over 80 million times. Yes, people have enjoyed watching him beat the out of Cody Rhodes.
And if you look at the comments, as I do, yeah, most of them say, yeah, Team Randy all day. Beat that ass and stick at him.
Because people are pretty much tired of Cody. So yeah, this is WrestleMania gonna be lit. Now, it's one thing I meant to say this on when I was talking about the incident with CM Punk and what he said about burying Roman and all of this, and and then those, he had the confrontation with the Usos. I had thought about something, and he's got a problem with doing that. If y'all go back and look, he was feuding with the Undertaker. Paul Bearer, that was the year Paul Bearer had passed away. And his ignorant behind brought that up. So that's not the first, what he said to Roman, it's not the first time he has done that. He did it, to Undertaker. He was talking about Paul Bearer dying and everything. And Undertaker beat the crap out of him. He's got a habit of doing that. And he really needs to stop. Because like I said, he's been getting reckless at the mouth. And some people ain't gonna play with you about that. You mess around and and you can't fight either. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Yeah, and we already know Jay crazy, especially when he started rubbing his temples and stuff. He started rubbing them temples, Johnny. You better start fighting you exit playing and stuff. But I am very happy to see the Viper back, and I can't wait to see what I can't wait for Friday to see what's gonna happen Yeah, because I'm pretty sure Cody gonna come out there lipping and whining and everything. But um, okay, now it's time for me to wrap this up. Um, thank you guys. Well, how you go? Wait a minute, how you go? I believe in Joe Hendry. Lord,
Okay.
I done got choked. I done got
All right.
choked. This is E's fault.
Y'all, please, please, please go to the YouTube page. Look for this right here. Rumble Time. Queen Gemini 70. There, I believe it's like 4 subscribers right now. That is very unacceptable. If y'all love the show, show it the love that it deserves. Because then we can have the show be on the YouTube channel as well. So please go to YouTube, go to Rumble Time, and hit that subscribe button, okay? Follow the instructions. Like and subscribe. Bam, just like that there.
Yes. So thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you for hanging out with me. Appreciate you, darlings. And keep them questions coming. Lord, we love the questions. We love the questions. So keep them coming. Keep them coming. So Tuesday, let's see what's going on Tuesday. Well, we're gonna talk about Raw. Yes, we gotta talk about Raw. Because let's see who's gonna be on Raw. Roman is supposed to be on Raw Monday night, and I think Brock is supposed to be there, but they said that last week, and we ain't seen Brock yet. So we'll see what happens and how everything goes down. So again, appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys on Tuesday. Bye.
This is the story about an African American woman who is passionate about professional wrestling and goes to countless events. She then, one day, gets the idea to start a wrestling talk podcast to talk about her favorite wrestlers and wrestling programs. She has a home podcasting room full of wrestling memorabilia that she uses to do the show, and every week you can tune in and join in the conversation.